So hi, my name is, it doesn't matter. I think my YouTube name would be like Finnegan or something like that. But basically, I am a kid and I'm a senior in high school and I'm very interested in psychology. There's my cat, Carlos. Don't worry about him. He'll be moving around. I'm very interested in psychology, sorry. And I think pretty good at being good at psychology. Which stems a little bit from me being crazy, but that's beside the point. This is my first video, I think, and I'm going to be talking a little about sociopaths, which is a weird subject, so let's calm down a second. So the basic definition of a sociopath kind of stems from this superficial charm that they have, which is probably the most dominant feature. Um, it's this fakeness about them, and it's just they know how to make people happy, and they're good at making people happy, even if it's completely fake. But that's what they're good at, so they continue doing it, and which isn't inherently a bad thing until they take that emotion of making other people feel happy and using it to their own benefit and being a little bit manipulative. Um, the that's probably the biggest trait I think looking at a lot of cases online about sociopaths is that just this crazy just charm they have and how they can turn that into getting them a lot of power. Power being like not like killing people power, but more like they can do kind of what they want to because they have 50 people that all really like them because they make them happy, and they can take those 50 people and make them do what they really want to. So it's a manipulative quality that they have, and it's nervous. Sociopaths also have this tendency to see this as their personality, right? It's almost like they know it's a little bit of a problem and they see themselves being a manipulator, especially when they are confronted about it. But they see it as a personality, and that it is a little bit of an issue, but it's just who they are. So yeah, they might manipulate their girlfriend into doing really what they want to, whenever they want to, however they want to. I mean, like it's in a relationship and just outwards, just going to where they want to eat and things like that. But they also see it as just their person. That's them. They're it's just how they are, and well, they wouldn't be dating me if I was any different, right? That's just how sociopaths work. Um, a great sociopath, to know who was a killer. He was the bikini killer. He was this guy who had a really bad upbringing. Really loved his father but couldn't see him ever, and well, he kind of did what he wanted to because that's what he felt like he could, and so he did do what he wanted to for a very long time. What he would do is that he would take travelers from Indonesia, and this time it wasn't really much of a, if you traveled to the southeast of Asia in the 1960s, 70s, you were crazy, right? You didn't have much friends over there, but you would travel because you want to see the world. Well, he would take these people, and he'd be like, "Here, come," and he would speak English to them, which would make them feel happier and more overjoyed that there's an English speaking person around me. And he would take them and he would just kill them, and he would take all their money, and no one would care because there was no communication back then. You just go missing, and that was it. And that was how the beginning killer became known. It was that he charmed his way into these people and these travelers, and they felt welcomed. And then he would get to the house, and he would roofie them and then kill them, or he would roofie them and then just leave them somewhere naked and alone, and whatever happened to them. Which he saw that as their own faults. He saw that as though they're stupid enough to do this, therefore they kind of deserve what's happening. That's a sociopathic quality that is seen in a bunch of sociopaths every day. Sociopathic is as common as, well, as common as 200,000 people in the U.S. alone have diagnosable sociopathic tendencies and symptoms. So it's very common, and you can see this if you really look hard enough into people. You see this manipulation, and their explanation why is because they could, and they were, the other person was too dumb to tell them not to, or to figure it out, which is bad and not really what you want. Yeah, so I mean, okay. In this day of age as well, and early 2019, January 2nd, 2019, YouTube was a big thing. Twitch is a big thing, especially with kids my age, around high schoolers. You watch YouTubers. You, to an extent, grew up with a lot of these YouTubers. PewDiePie is someone I watched for a really long time. Captain Sparkles, I don't know if anyone knows him. He was someone I was watching as a kid. I don't watch him much anymore, but if I see it in my recommended feed, I still watch it. It's just kind of, this tendency to love these people, right? These YouTubers, these old time, and it'll circle back around to sociopaths. Give me a second. Sociopaths also have a great understanding of work ethic because they want power, they want more things, so they work at it. They work very hard at it. They manipulate people to work for them to give them more power. And I think a majority of the YouTubers and Twitch streamers you see have sociopathic tendencies. Light, a lot of them, but a ton of them you see just have this crazy, egotistical, eccentric vibe about them, which is completely sociopathic. You understand, a symptom of sociopathic people, or I guess a thing that helps psychologists diagnose sociopathic people, is this need for stimulation, this need for just things to happen in their life, drama or just things to happen, and for people to see those things happen is another thing that I feel is very common in sociopaths. So you look at YouTubers when they are low on subscribers, the everyday vloggers, the people who just sit in front of the camera like I am right now and talk about their day and drama that happens. The first thing they're doing is making these memories out to the world to get views and to get subscribers and people to look and watch their story, which is a huge thing. And they also recreate these memories in their head to fit this drama. Idubbbz went to Tana Mongeau. Tana Mongeau is a huge one about this. Tana Mongeau, I'm sure when she is making these videos, is making up a lot of things to happen to make things more dramatic. And the mind is a beautiful thing in a way that if we remember something hard enough as being one way, we will feel that emotion as it feels that way. Tana Mongeau is we have evidence of this. With Tana Mongeau, Idubbbz went and saw her on her tour. If you don't know about this, you should watch the videos. Idubbbz has like 2 or 3 about it. Idubbbz went and saw her on tour. And he said the N-word and said, say N-word, right? With his thumbs up, and he has a video of it. Tana Mongeau didn't know about this video when it happened. She didn't even know it was Idubbbz. She just saw it was some guy who walked up to her and said this. Tana Mongeau then went to her camera and told the story as if Idubbbz was this crazy guy who grabbed her and then fought his way out of this convention center, which we have video proof that just didn't happen. He put his arm around her, said, the bad stuff, and then left escorted. He didn't fight anyone. His friend had his video camera out, but that was really the worst thing that he did on the way out. But Tana Mongeau's, we'd see this in just one video. We can only imagine if it's every single video she does this for. We have no idea. Well, we have some idea. So that's a sociopathic tendency with Tana Mongeau, who is a big creator. Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Do you see the stuff that they do on a regular basis? It's crazy. Overstimulation crazy, which would make the lame person, I guess you can call him, tired and not want to do the things that these Paul brothers are doing, which is sociopathic. And these guys are huge. I mean, look at these guys. They release a lot of videos and they have a lot of people backing them, and they just work at being bigger and better than they ever were. And they had a fall. They had a fall with Jake Paul, with the whole thing with Team 10, and then Logan Paul with the Suicide Force. They had a fall, and they learned from this fall, and I would imagine the same people they were before they made this video. Logan Paul and Jake Paul are the same people who, had allegations about them bullying other people of their team and things such as, but now they know how to hide it a little bit better, and they learn from their mistakes of what they did before and will make a valiant effort to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I think they'll act on camera, and they'll make themselves believe that they are changing and better people. But something like socio sociopaths. People who are sociopaths don't change like that. I may argue they never really change. They just get better at hiding the, the, their tendencies and things that they do because they need people to like them. They have to have popularity for them to succeed in life, especially with things like YouTube and Twitch and really anything you do. In order for you to succeed, you need to have at least someone like you, you know. And people love these guys. People love Tana Mojo. People love the Paul brothers. People love these huge YouTubers because of the overstimulation. I think it's kind of the way that we, as a community, as a culture, love true crime shows. It's not like we really all are, cops in New York handling our most sensitive cases. We are teachers and we are police officers. Well, shit. We are teachers. We work at our local library. We do things like this and go home and just binge watch these true crime because they're interesting. We love watching the extents of the human condition and what people will go to. And now we're watching this live. We're watching this not as a TV show we know is about true crime. We're watching this as two guys in front of a camera being the craziest they can be because that's how they get power. That's how they get views. I'm not making the Paul Bros out to be bad. I'm not making any of the YouTubers out to be bad. But I think it's something to be said about our culture and how much we just make these people celebrities and why we make these people celebrities is my issue or my question, I guess. So I'm finally getting to the main idea of this video, which is why sociopaths are so celebrated, which I already touched on, I already said, but why sociopaths are so interesting to people. And I have a couple of theories, so we might be a second. If you're interested in sociopathic tendencies in people, then you might find this interesting. I'd probably be the only one that does. So I want to start this back a long time. Right around when the Twilight Zone came out, which we saw these extraterrestrial creatures in what I would argue to be the first show that really broadened people's horizons and what they were interested in. We watched an episode of the Twilight Zone in my 10th grade English class because it was somehow foreshadowing or something ridiculous like that. But what happened, if I remember correctly, was that there was a city and these aliens came down and were abducting people and everyone was freaking out. But I think the most intriguing part about the entire episode was that it was watching how people reacted and how people dealt with their neighbors, might being aliens or might being just these not who they think they are, and how the people think we would act in that scenario. Because I mean, I guess we've been in those places before, but we I don't think anyone's ever had the legit community being overtaken by aliens and having to figure out who's real and who's not. And I think that's the driving point of that episode. And that was the first show, which broadened our horizons with what we saw as entertaining with people and things such as. Well, from there, shows have gone crazy. Star Trek, these big universe type shows, Star Wars, Star Trek, Firefly was kind of like that, where it was just either in the future or in the past, and it was these non-humans doing things as if they were humans, which is very interesting for us. Look at Star Wars fandom; it's huge, and I think it's because I think when you get down to the meat of what Star Wars is, it's it's action, of course, but it's also interesting to see how these people interact in these huge economies and cultures, non-human like, right? I think we're very interested in things that are non-us, and we're also interested in figuring out what makes us. So we explore that idea in multiple things. We explore what makes humans humans. I mean, the human condition is probably one of the hardest things to explain ever, and psychologists to this day have no, I don't think have any real solid definition of what the human condition is or what makes us human. And I think that people are very interested in what makes us human, and therefore we watch and love these shows that touch on what it is. I think those big Star Wars, Star Trek, those big, Universal movies, shows, cultures, um, are really intriguing because we're really curious about what it is to make us human, and we watch people who are non-human do human things, and it's very interesting. So another thing I want to touch on is early 2000s reality shows, which is, I think, not great. Those shows, watching back now, they're just not interesting. Why? What is the point of watching, Jersey Shore? What is the point of watching Keep Up with the Kardashians, which is still going on, but a little different now? What is the point of watching these reality TV shows? And even going on to Cartoon Network. When I was a kid, I watched Total Drama Island and was in love with it. I loved Total Drama Island. It was this ridiculous show about people doing activities to stay on an island that they seemed to hate. But they did these crazy activities and had friends and fell in love and had enemies as a 9-year-old. And I was in love with it. I watched it all the time. I loved Total Drama Island. They had who knows how many series they had of Total Drama Island, which is crazy. As a 9-year-old, I'm obsessed with things that basically my mom and my dad are obsessed with, which is just, it's weird to think about that being already in our heads at such a young age. And maybe that's culturally like that. Jersey Shore was a huge thing when I was like in 4th grade. Jersey Shore was huge. I mean, kids my age were like, yeah, did you watch Jersey Shore last night? And I was like, no, I had to go to bed at 9. I couldn't stay up at 10:30 to watch Jersey Shore. And why we watch these shows, why we watch these people just sit in a house or sit in this vacation spot and just do activities, is because we like watching how people do things. We like watching just people interact with their surroundings in places that we probably won't be at for like they are. How many of us are really going to live on New Jersey in New Jersey in this $1 million house and do basically whatever they want to every single night and have it filmed? There's something to say about them acting fake on because they knew they were being filmed all the time, which is fair. But they were egotistical and they were eccentric and they were exciting, and we couldn't get enough as a culture. We couldn't get enough of Jersey Shore and reality TV shows because these people did things that we wish we could do, and we watched. And we watched and we loved these narcissistic people do things. Why? That's a question to be asked. Why are we watching? Why are we so involved with these TV shows that we don't really matter in the grand scheme of things? What Snooki and JWoww do in New Jersey will never affect me in a serious way. Just won't. It just won't ever affect me. Maybe it will, but I'm probably have more of a chance of getting struck by lightning twice in the same minute than I do having that affect me. So why was I so obsessed with what happened on Total Drama Island as a 9-year-old when that was a cartoon that honestly wasn't even amazing? Why is that so obsessive? Why was I so obsessed with this? Humans want to know what it means to be human. Humans are curious. We want to know what it's like to be ourselves. I don't think we ever really understand our emotions. I don't think I think we feel things and we understand what we feel, but we don't understand why. We never ask the question, why is it when my girlfriend holds hands with someone else or is even talking to another guy, I feel weird in my chest? Why does that happen to me? Why is it when my friend has something I don't, I want to punch him? Why does that happen? And we watch that and we figure out, I guess. We watch these people do relatable things and we fall in love with it. Relatable YouTubers are probably the biggest things right now, right? People stay, like I've said before, with Tana Mojo, people sitting in front of their cameras and talking about stories is huge. People can't get enough of this. Why? Yeah, why? Like I've said before, we want to know what it means to be human, and so we try to figure out what it means to be human. So how does this relate to sociopaths? Well, I'm going to get to that. I think sociopaths are are great at being human. Give me a second to explain. Sociopaths are great at showing people what they want. They're amazing at it. They're just, you watch these YouTube videos and you're interested. You don't realize you're watching this video of this jackass in Japan walk around for 25 minutes until you're at the end and you realize you was sat there for 25 minutes and watched a guy walk around Japan. You don't realize it because they're relatable people who are doing things that we wish we could do, and we want to watch them. We just want to watch and enjoy them doing everyday things because it shows us how we should strive, how we should walk, how we should interact with people. There's a reason why these guys' merch is doing so well. It's because we want to dress like they do. And even at their merch, I've seen people blatantly copy other people's outfits because they think it looks cool. But why is it what they wear look cool? Why does that make that interesting for us to wear? And then you see people who do things that are a little bit more nuts, and that I'm sure they stole from someone else. This girl I liked a couple of months ago, she was great at talking, and one day she was talking to me about stealing other people's phrases and what that means. And you hear someone say something that isn't really like their personality, and you wonder, where do they get that phrase from? We copy. We're great copiers. Humans are amazing at adapting and copying to where we are. And sociopaths are amazing at showing us what to copy and showing us what is interesting. I think sociopaths are more in tune with culture than anyone else in the world. They're more in tune with what's culturally sound and what is popular than anyone else. And to an extent, set those things that are popular. So we watch these sociopaths, or people with sociopathic tendencies. I don't want to call people sociopaths, because we like to follow and we like to see what we should do and what it means to be people, what it means to be an acting member of society. Even though these guys are doing things that we will never ever do, we love watching. And I think that's a huge part about sociopaths in our culture, is that they are the leaders. They're the ones that our kids watch and that our kids will continue to watch on YouTube and on TV, because that's what's interesting and that's what makes people click, is watching things that are interesting. This video sucked, and I understand that. I'm gonna get better. I would like, if anyone's watching this, this is kind of for me to compress my thoughts. This ending will be a little about me. If you're tired of this, you can finish. But I do write papers. I write a bunch of research papers. I like writing about things I'm curious about. I have a lot of ideas about psychology. I really love that psychology is a newer science, and so a lot of things are kind of unproven, or we just have ideas about. And I have a lot of great ideas, I think, or theories about explaining why, or just things like that. This is my first video. It sucks, and I understand that it sucks, but I tried. I don't know if you guys saw my cat. He's right here. His name is Carlos. Hey. You know, like that. I think that's all. Alright, see ya.